Kim McGrath from Expressions of the Universe with a 2025 full year card reading for each month and for all zodiac signs. And I'm using the Light Seers Tarot deck, the Archetypes Oracle deck, in addition to Dark Moon astrology cards and a few other decks that I'll probably maybe bring in, depending. But let's get started. I will timestamp this. And I wasn't sure how to record this. I wanted you to be able to see the cards. And I was going to use my phone and a tripod, but look, we're just going to do it. Nothing fancy here tonight. All right, so I first pulled an overarching archetype and theme for the year from the archetype oracles. I love these cards. The card that actually flew out of the deck as I was diligently shuffling, I didn't even pick this card. It just came flying out. I knew that it had to be the anchor card. That wasn't originally my intention, but my guides were saying this is what the theme of the year is going to be. And the card is the warrior. So take a look at this symbolism here. We have a cattle skull with a snake wrapped around its mouth. The rainbow. There's also in the third eye, there is a diamond or a clear crystal quartz. It is the card number 10, which could be summed to a 1. 1 plus 0 equals 1, which is a new beginning, although 2025 is a 9-year because 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. That means that we're coming to the end of a cycle. We're coming to a completion. It's not really a year for new beginnings. We're having to wrap things up from the last decade. We're tying up loose ends. We are purging and discarding things, people, places, behaviors, habits that no longer serve us. It is this culmination of the last 9 years that we are wrapping up and moving on from. Now, a lot of you may find it difficult, excuse me, to move on, saying like, I'm not done with this phase of my life yet, which is understandable, but there are endings coming. Now, 5 years are really about endings, but I think also 9 years are also about endings, because then we're coming in next year to a 10-year, which is a 1, and it's a new beginning. Astrologically, we're going through back and forth of so many planets moving in to new signs, the major big planets, the social planets, moving into new signs for the first time. You can check out my video. I gave you the highlights of each of those movements, and then over the coming weeks, I will be breaking those down, talking more about how it will affect each zodiac sign and us personally. So stay tuned for that. I know that there was a lot of information, even though it was just high-level highlights. There was a lot of information, a lot to digest. It will be easier when I break it down over time. So this warrior card, the first thing that comes to mind for me is death because of the skull. But then the snake talks about healing and renewal, shedding old skin. The rainbow, obviously, better times are ahead. Um, I do have the guidebook here because this is pretty in depth. I don't want to get the glare on that, and I want to be able to just give you some highlights. It says we often envision the warrior as an armored figure with a sword in hand, moving blindly towards battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype bring us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. Is it likely a great one with deep roots and long standing tensions? The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles. I feel like just looking at the astrology for 2025, we are on the precipice as a world for a lot of upheaval. A lot of changes will be taking place. I don't think that we're going to get the full impact because these planets are dancing back and forth through their current sign into their new sign and then retrograding back. So we're getting a taste and a flavor in 2025 of what we can expect 2026 through 2043. So this is very long term. I also thought about Pluto moving into Aquarius when this came up, because that is one of the big changers. However, that's in tropical astrology, is that Pluto has moved into Aquarius. However, in sidereal or Vedic Eastern astrology, Pluto is still in Capricorn. So there's still that tension around banking and religion and education and government. There's still a lot of that upheaval. And both systems work. Tropical works, and so does the Vedic astrology. Both of those systems work. Don't ask me how, but they do, in their perfect timing. So a lot of astrologers, especially those that follow Vedic and Eastern, they're not acknowledging that Pluto has moved into Aquarius because to them it's still in Capricorn. The difference, real quick, before I get back to these cards. So tropical has a little bit of a different calculation. It's looking at the longitude and latitude of the planets a little bit differently, whereas I believe, quote, quote me if I'm wrong, or correct me, if I'm wrong. Sidereal or Vedic astrology is actually looking at the constellations and how the planets are positioned within the constellation. So technically it's a little more accurate, but it is a completely different system. So anyway, moving on from the astrology back to this. The actions that we take will stay with us long after the dust has settled. So, you know, The things that are going to be happening in 2025 are going to have long-term impacts on all of us, every corner of the world. So choose wisely, brave one, as you draw your sword. Realign with the eternal wisdom within, then surrender to the battle. And that's what this warrior card is. I will elaborate on that further at another time in a post. Okay, so I wanted to start just on the overarching theme of each month and each zodiac sign. And then I want to go in depth into each zodiac sign and slash month. So I'm going to start with Capricorn because that's how the year will start in January in Capricorn. I also want to make note that to an astrologer, the year actually begins when the sun moves into Aries, and that is the third week of March. So I'll have to be doing a whole nother reading for that. But this is the overall world theme. Now, looking at the winter solstice chart, there was a lot of sorrow within that chart. So I felt like this winter we could be facing a lot of sorrow, either personally or globally. And the winter solstice is when the sun moved into Capricorn. So Capricorn, how did this card come out? I thought I thought that I had pulled, well, it is what it is. I thought that I pulled only major arcana cards. That is interesting. Well, well, well. So Capricorn, we have the Queen of Wands. I wasn't expecting this, but this is saying that you are the master of creativity right now. You are the master of your own growth and joy and happiness. And this is also asking Capricorns, this is for the month of January, for all of us to play, live in the light, feel the romance, be romantic, be playful, be creative. Don't just sit around like a bump on the log. Use your talents and come out of the shadows. Let your talents be seen. All right, Aquarius. I don't even know what I'm going to get because I thought that I separated that out. Well, it looks like it is what it is, right? That's a surprise, and that's a really good, happy surprise because it's not turning out the way I thought it would. Anyway, for Aquarius and the month of February, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is the beginning of new creativity, new ideas. The Ace of Wands, new business ventures, new prosperity as far as the direction that you're going in, not so much financially, but it is the beginning of some little spark in your mind, as you can see, that you will be able to project off of. So February, pay attention to your intuition for everyone. And in Aquarians, especially, you want to come up with some fresh ideas, think differently, think outside of the box, change your perspective, change your mind. Pisces, what are we going to have here? Pisces, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, similar to Capricorn's card, with it being the Queen of Wands, you are the master of your finances. You can stand proud and tall, earning your own money. Maybe this is a new job, an ending of one thing, the beginning of something brand new. Pisces, this is sitting comfortably. Maybe you have rebudgeted for the new year. This is also for the month of March. So we should all be taking account of our budgets because this is interesting. The way that I'm looking at the astrology is that I feel that come March, if we don't feel it or see it in March, it'll be by April. I feel like we're going to have a global recession. The United States dollar does trigger a lot of markets all around the world. So you want to be sitting comfortably, and you may need to be a little frugal because I feel that we're in this financial bubble globally and it's about to burst. And so thinking about Mars and Venus and what their transits are doing and how that affects money globally. Mars is coming out of retrograde, I believe right around that time at the end of February, beginning of March. That could trigger some volatility in the markets. So be really careful about how you're investing. Put away a nest egg. And for Pisces, this would be doubly cautious for you at this time. All right, Aries and April. Let's see, what do we have? We have the Four of Wands. So we have a lot of creativity energy, don't we? The Four of Wands does talk about playing and creating, collaborating, finding your tribe, finding your people that understand you, that can connect with you, and can communicate. When April comes, we will be coming into spring in the northern hemisphere, autumn for the southern hemisphere. It's a good time to get outside and shake off the cobwebs from the winter. You could tell from these pictures, we have some women that are playing tambourine, they're singing, they're dancing. Looks like there's a carnival tent in the background. So what I'm picking up is creative outlets and physical movement are going to be perfect for Aries or for the month of April for all of us. All right, so May and Taurus. This doesn't look so good. We have the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups often indicates sorrow and things that have been wasted, things that have spilled over, our cups running dry. So if we do happen to go into a recession, I think we'll really feel it by May of 2025. But cups represent our heart and our emotions. So we, as a collective, could be hitting rock bottom come May. I don't have my astrological calendar with me just to see how that would line up exactly with what's going on. And I can't think off the top of my head, but this is a card reading video. So there is contemplation. Also, in this depiction, so we see that this person has given up all hope and feels doomed, maybe fearful, maybe very sorrowful. but they're refusing to see a different perspective, to turn around to see that they still have something left somewhere else, um, right behind them, as a matter of fact. So, Taurus, don't allow yourself to get down. All of you, for a collective message. If you feel like you're hitting rock bottom come May, just know that you probably just have to shift and re-evaluate things in your life that are making you very emotional. You may have to discard some things and do away with some things in order to get back on track. So some of us could be saying goodbye. Um, Relationships could be ending at that time come May. All right. Now we're in June, and this is Gemini. And this is the bounce back. Here we have the King of Wands. I don't know why there's so many cups and wands, so many wands, because I shuffled these great. The King of Wands, this is the king of creativity, the king of romance, the king of fun and play, and the inner child standing tall, standing strong, saying, I've got this. Nothing is going to shake me at my roots. So Geminis, you're creative. You can use that mental agility to pull you out of any hole. And this is a message for all of us that come June, you have to remember who is in charge. You are. You're in charge of your life. You're in control of how things go in your life. So just remember that and think of this King of Wands and the lion that stands behind him, symbolizing strength and pride and perseverance. July and Cancer, we have the Six of Wands, and it is time for a huge celebration in July, not only for all of us, but for the Cancers, for those little crabs. So, I know the crabs, the Cancers are really going through a tough time right now. I know so many that are, but come July, things will turn around and you will be able to celebrate. Celebrate yourself, celebrate your own success on your own, by yourself, is what I'm hearing. And trying to think, so come July, I'm trying to think of the astrology. I feel like I know that Jupiter and I believe Uranus will be changing signs at that time. And Jupiter should be moving into Cancer right about that time. So things are going to be huge. They're going to be big, 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 very big. I love that song by Walker and Darrow, called Every Day. And I hope that my video doesn't get blocked for just singing that, because it could copyright, but I did say it's Walker and Darrow. Every Day is the name of the song. Anyway, Jupiter moving into Cancer is going to shine abundance and blessings on the little crabs for the next 12 months from mid-June all the way through next June. So celebrate your victories. I love that. Okay, Leo. Leo, we have the Ten of Wands. And so for the Leos, if you look at this, it looks like a little bit of a sorrowful card. But this is saying you've been carrying too heavy of a burden. It's time to put that load down. It's time to lighten your load. It's too much. So you're going to have to discard something, get rid of something, lighten your load, lighten your burden. This is for the month of August for all of us. And so, with this being a 9 year, a year of completion, where I did say we will be needing to discard things, to get rid of things, clear the clutter, purge. This is probably going to be the make it or break it point because we're 3/4 of the way through the year come August. And if you haven't started at this point, all of us are going to have to start lightening our load. Now, it could be if the economy is in the total shitter, um, we may have to sell our things in order to make a little bit of money. I don't know because I haven't done the financial astrology fully. I just see some certain aspects, but I think I'll have to put out a financial astrology video for the collective because I'm feeling being in finance for 42 years and being through many recessions, I'm seeing the patterns and I'm seeing it coming. Globally, we're in a financial bubble and it is about to burst. I feel like it can only hold on for maybe another 3, 4 months. I think a lot of it will be triggered by the United States and the UK, possibly Australia, Russia. Russia's economy is in the toilet. But if the United States economy falls, so does the rest of the world because it's all tied. So lightening the burden, start selling your goods now. Um, that is what may be called for. That was Leo. Now we're on to the little virgins for Virgo. Oh, Virgos. So this is a reflective time. This is for the month of September. This is the Eight of Swords. So it feels like you're blinded and bound, unable to see the future, unknowing, um, shut out. And I don't want people living in a fearful place, okay? So this is for September. This is for the Virgos. Um, because, like I said, we are in control of everything that happens to us. So if you've wind up in this place, it is a time for reflection. This could just be for all of us a good time to look back to a time and a place when we weren't in a good place and just to realize how far we have come at this point. That's what I'm feeling like in this card, that it's not so super sorrowful. This is like mental turmoil, but I feel as though any mental turmoil, we're doing it to ourselves. All right, so we have the choice to either think beautiful thoughts or to think awful, ugly thoughts. And depending on what it is you're thinking of, that's what's going to show up in your life. When you complain, more shit shows up that you can complain about. So I try to be very mindful, especially, I mean, like we all do it, right? Um, I was complaining. I started to complain about something today and I stopped myself and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this thing to complain about. Like, you have to shift your mindset. Otherwise, you will become a victim of your own mind and inner turmoil. All right, so that's September. Now we're moving into October, Libra or Libra. Okay, so feels like we have all this creativity and passion, energy at the beginning of the year, and then it turns quickly come May. Um, this is the Five of Pentacles, and this is a financial card. This is kind of like financial despair or just feeling destitute. So I don't know if this is the Libras. Libras, I'm going to caution you right now to really curb your spending. Actually, I'm going to caution everybody to do that for this year. Start socking away a little bit of a nest egg, so you don't wind up in this position. So if you take a look, you have this person feeling sorry for themselves, and they're sitting in a corner, their heads down, they're crying, they're sorrowful. And because of that, they have tunnel vision. Yet there is a key right here that opens the lock to this door where they can get all of the assistance and help that they need. The key is right in front of them, but because they're so caught up in their own drama, they don't see the key right there. And a lot of times, like, that's what the Five of Pentacles always means to me. Like, there's in a traditional tarot deck, you have, it looks like a mother and a child that are out in the cold. They are very scantily dressed, wrapped in a little something. They look hungry, they're poor, they're barefoot in the snow. They're walking past a church, but because their heads are down and they're just feeling so sorrowful for themselves, they don't see that they're walking right past a church where it's all lit up inside and they can go in and get help. They could probably get warm. They could probably get a bed. They could probably get a meal. They can get the help that they need. But because they are walking through life with their head down in this negative mindset, feeling sorry for themselves, they don't see that the help and the assistance is right there, right in front of their eyes. So whether this is for the Libras, I think this is a great message for you, but this could also be for all of us come October. And you know what? It's all easier said than done. I know that. It really takes a lot of strength and perseverance and patience and mindfulness to keep yourself in a certain mindset and mind frame. Um, it doesn't come easy. And, like people are not skipping through life. Even the people you think that are skipping through life are all having a difficult time, but they've trained themselves to think differently. And I believe that it all starts with gratitude. And if you get into a gratitude practice, before you know it, it is second nature. It really makes a difference in your life. Things show up differently in your life when you do practice gratitude. Right, so we had Libra, now we've got Scorpio and the month of November. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. And look how fantastic this is. The difference between feeling sorry for yourself and celebrating your success, celebrating a windfall, family coming together, friends coming together. This is the card of abundance. So for Scorpios, maybe you're hitting the lottery this year, but we could all be in a better financial position come November of 2025, even if it's only briefly. We may start to feel a little bit of relief, but we could also possibly have adjusted our sales enough that we're living differently so that we can celebrate and enjoy our abundance. But this is also the appreciation of the little things in our lives, the things that truly matter. And it's not always material. It's about our friends. It's about our family. It's about good health and being joyful and playing and having fun with our children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews, and our animals, our puppy dogs and our kitties. And I have two new kitties that I haven't even told you about. Maybe I'll be able to bring them on camera before I finish. But anyway, November and Scorpio looks pretty good. And then last but not least, for this round, we have Sagittarius and the month of December, and we have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups talks about loyalty. It talks about our memories. It talks about sentimentality, thinking back over the good times, thinking of our friendships, thinking about the people and the things that truly mattered to us. This is possibly a run-in with somebody from the past, somebody that you were friends with and enjoyed, you were able to share good times and reminisce. And so for Sagittarians, you could also be getting a dog. There could be something involving a dog or children, but I generally think it is mostly about sentimentality, maybe going back to the old ways. Also, reminding Sagittarians and all people in December about who is loyal to you and stick with the people and the things that are loyal to you. So that's depicted here by the dog. And I love that because think about the unconditional love that a dog gives to you. If you haven't had a dog, maybe you have a kitty or another animal. And if you've had a really strong connection with an animal, then you will understand what I'm talking about. But that loyalty, that unconditional love, no matter what you look like, no matter how bad of a mood you are in, that animal will always love you. And maybe it's just because they know that you're going to feed them. But either way, animals, I feel, are always so much better than most humans. Actually, I think all humans, other than right now, my granddaughter. And even she's a feisty little one. So I wanted to build on all of this. So how do I time stamp that? Um, I think I'm going to pause, collect my thoughts, collect each of these cards up, and then I will do the individual zodiac signs in full, starting off with each of these cards, and then do, a couple card picks for each zodiac sign moving forward. So I think that's going to work, and that's how I will timestamp it. So I'll be right back in just in just a minute. I am back. Yes, I'm back. I had to make sure that it was recording, so I have everything set up. I'm going to do each zodiac sign and the appropriate month that goes with that, beginning with Capricorn and the month of January. You want to pay attention to your sun signs, your rising signs, and your moon signs, and anywhere in your chart that you may have a stellium or a cluster of planets, because that's what these cards are for. So you have the potential of at least three, four, or more. If you have your sun rising and your moon all in one sign, then you get one card, but I'm sure that you would have a cluster of planets somewhere else. You can check out my Astro 101 video on how to pull your own chart for free online, or in January, my books will be opening up for 2025, and you can book a reading with me, and I will give you your chart and all of its juicy highlights. Let's get started. So I'm going to use the Lightseers Tarot, then I'm going to use some astrology decks. I'm going to use Wisdom of the Avalon from Colette Baron Reid, Animal Totems from Colette Baron Reid, a very old crystal deck, so you each get your crystals, and then an archetype card for the year. Don't forget that our archetype card for the year, I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. It is the Warrior, which you could see at the beginning of this video. All right. I'm going to start with Capricorn, the month of January. The crystal for that month is rhodochrosite, and it is about the child within. So it really pairs very well with the Queen of Wands that came up at the beginning of this video because it's fire. It's fire energy. It's playful energy. It's stop being so serious, Capricorn, suns, risings, and moons. Come out and play. Find love. Find something that you love and that you can be passionate about. Your animal totem for January and for Capricorn, it is bat spirit. Now, this is about navigating blindly. You may not have all the pieces in place. You may not have everything set up, but this is about following your intuition, following your inner radar, and knowing the direction that you are going in blindly, but by the sound of your own heartbeat, um, following that inner light that you have within you. This says a rebirth is assured. And I feel like that's what's happening for Capricorns, especially because you're coming out of Pluto being in your sign for the last 20 years and having that pressure on you to produce and change and transform. So this is like the phoenix rising up from the ashes for the Capricorns. All right, so we have those three cards. Your major arcana card, it is the Empress, and it is all about fertility. And that's what these fire cards are about as well. This is something new is birthing within you, Capricorns. It's a spark of an idea, something new that will be really launching probably in 2026. All you have to do is start the planning phase right now. And here we have the Three of Wands, more fire energy. This is more creativity for the Capricorns. This is three separate choices, not knowing which direction to go in. You're a little emotional. You're overwhelmed probably. But if you have been in hermit mode for most of 2024, which I know a lot of you have been, it's time for you to come out of your shell, start to have fun, play a little bit. And there are so many choices in front of you. You just have to make a choice, but you could choose all three. All right. You have the 11th house of dreams, hopes, and wishes are coming through. So whatever you put your mind to, your friends, the collective are coming together to help you. And here we have the South Node, life's debts. So does this mean that you still have some karmic debts that you need to pay forward? Thinking a little bit differently. And so where is the South Node in your chart? Now, come January, the nodes are changing from Aries Libra into Pisces Virgo. The South Node will be in Virgo. So it is about work. It is about service for all of us. But this South Node, life's debts are coming due to you, Capricorn, suns, risings, and moons. So be prepared. And then we have, there are still some restrictions on you, still some obstacles, still some blockages. And is that because in Vedic astrology, Pluto is still in Capricorn? It still hasn't moved fully out, only in tropical or Western astrology. So those blockages, those restrictions are saying to me, if you are blocked, if you're restricted from something that you think you want to do or a direction you want to go in, that's a sign that that's not the path for you. How about that? Okay. I can lick these because these are my cards and I don't let other people touch them. I know that's gross now. Coming out of the pandemic era, we don't do that anymore. So you have the sword. It is card number 67. Now, the sword, we have the sun and the moon here. So it's our vital life force. It is also our emotions. But the sword cuts both ways. The sword is about our mental ability, the way that we think, and the things that we speak. We can really hurt someone with our sword of a tongue. We can also hurt people with mental mind games. We can also hurt ourselves by the way that we talk to ourselves, the things that we say and think about ourselves. So, no negative self talk. That's what I'm getting for that. And that's Capricorn. All right. Now we have Aquarius. Okay, the little water bearers. Okay, so just to remind you, Aquarius and February. Ooh, hiccups. Aquarius in February, we had the Ace of Wands. This is the beginning of creativity. It is the beginning of a spark that is living within inside of you. New ideas are coming to life. This doesn't mean that you act on them. This is a time for you maybe to keep a journal so that when these ideas come up, you write them down. Otherwise, they could be fleeting. Your crystal card, it is not a crystal, but it is the storm card. So the storm talks about turbulence that is coming. This is not a crystal, so I have to pick a different card. This is an element. Storm surge, electricity, ideas, new inventions. That's very much Aquarius. And you have malachite is your crystal. And you'll see at the top it says will. Now, malachite is a healing stone. It's green in color, if you're not familiar. It's a heart healing stone. So, through these storms, Aquarius, you may need some heart healing, especially to enable the spark of ideas that are coming to you. Maybe somebody isn't supportive of your new adventures, your new ideas. Malachite is extremely powerful. A lot of people have a hard time working with that. If you find that it is a tough stone to work with, you can pair it with a blue stone like Larimar or blue lace agate. That will soften the energy so that you can work with it better. And we have the flamingo spirit. And usually when I see flamingo, I think of being in between worlds. What does this say? It says embrace the in between. So I was right on point with that. When the flamingo comes up, it's like having one foot in this world and one foot in another. So Aquarius, you could be leaving a situation, but you still have your toes dipped in the old situation while you're setting up the new situation. This is also, in between two worlds, like psychic abilities could be picking up and you're tapping into the other side. What else could I be getting from that? It's definitely like leaving one existence and entering into another. And that could just be a phase in your life, but something brand new is emerging. Okay. Trying to keep these cards in order. Your major arcana card, it's the Tower. And the Tower really does go with that storm card very much so. The Tower, not one of my favorite cards. This is when life starts crumbling down around you. Things are starting to fall apart, but they do that as a means so that you can build a new foundation, so that you can build a new life and you can build something more solid. It is a beautiful card in this deck for sure. I love the symbolism. There's a squirrel in there, so it's talking about being prepared, being financially prepared. What else is in there? I'm not sure. Might be a little fox, and I'm not sure, but there's definitely a squirrel, and that does talk about preparedness and being financially prepared, squirreling away a little bit of a nest egg, Aquarius, so that you're not left without anything when your tower crumbles. Okay, now we have the Seven of Cups is coming up. So after the fall, after the fall of the tower, the Seven of Cups comes up, and it's about contemplation, and it's about trying to make a choice, but there are so many choices that you are so overwhelmed that you can't choose. Sometimes having too many choices is not necessarily a good thing. And that's what I feel like in this situation. And your emotions become very overwhelmed by having to pick one thing out of all of these other things. And that could be the new life or existence that you're moving into. Um, Maybe make a list of pros and cons of each of the different choices before you actually make a decision. I don't feel like a decision has to be made this year. This is a year of contemplation for all of us. All right, you're getting the first house. The first house is about yourself, putting yourself forward, putting yourself first for a change. This is also how people see you, how people perceive you. This is about working on your physical appearance and what people will see when they first meet you. It's your personality. So a lot of that would be possibly changing, maybe getting a new look, a new style, a new hairdo, a new wardrobe, uh, new exercise plan, new eating plan, like putting you first for a change. And this says what people see and the impression you give. So that could be part of your contemplation this year, and you could be doing a little bit of an overhaul on yourself. And here we have earth, element, and stability. So it really comes down to the money, being financially stable, being financially grounded, being spiritually grounded, mentally grounded. And, this could be making a garden for the first time. It is all about the earth element. This is work, it is a job, it is our service into the world. Um, this is about the food that we eat, the food that we grow. This is about our stability at home, but mostly like thinking about what makes you feel safe. That's where you need to be moving in the direction of what keeps you calm and grounded and feeling safe. And then the wasp comes up. And the wasp says, sometimes life stings. Uh, this is violence. This is volatile. This is argumentative. This is somebody buzzing around you. This could be gossip. This could be somebody starting with you, wanting to sting you for some reason or another, Aquarius. Do not engage. Um, this is anger, retaliation, and it's jealousy. So that could be part of if you're changing your life for the better, somebody may not be happy with you. And then finally, your archetype card is 45. Card number 45, and it's the threshold. And this is very much like the flamingo card. The threshold, see, person standing on the edge of something. So it's like one foot in one world, one foot in the other. Aquarius, you're at the threshold of a brand new beginning of some sort. Um, there's new creativity here. You're leaving the darkness. You're entering the energy of fire and light and romance and passion and something that your heart will definitely sing about. That's what I have. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. All right. Moving on to Pisces and the month of March. So we had for Pisces the Queen of Pentacles, and I talked about financial stability, putting away a nest egg, needing to feel comfortable and safe. Very much like that Earth element card that just came up for the Aquarius. Mostly because I feel that the world could be going into a financial recession during this time and that the financial bubble could be bursting. The crystal for for Pisces, I'm sorry, it is insight and azurite. This is about intuitive, tapping in intuitively. So before you make any purchases, before you make any financial decisions, you want to maybe use some azurite. It goes really well with malachite, by the way, which was the crystal for Aquarius. Often the two are found within the same stone. And this is a great third eye chakra. It's a good throat chakra. So it's about listening. It is about seeing beyond. And it's also about voicing your opinion. Like, just don't allow people to make decisions for you. But when it comes to finances, it's asking you to use your intuition and follow your gut and maybe take a step back and wait a few days and see, how things sit with you before engaging. Your animal totem, Pisces, it is dolphin spirit. And it says this and that are true. And so this is saying that the way you think is true and the way someone else thinks is also true. It's true for them. This is talking about non-judgment, being more open to other people's perspectives, even if they seem absolutely batshit crazy. Um, just being kinder, more compassionate, because we all have different perspectives. I'm just going to leave that at that. Also, when I see dolphins, I think about the underworld because there's a legend that says dolphins carry the spirits or souls of our loved ones into the underworld on their backs. And so when we see them diving down, they're taking someone down into the underworld. That's just one of the many, many underworld legends that there are. So that could have some meaning for the Pisces suns, risings, and moons. All right, your archetype card, major arcana card, is the Magician. And the Magician is about will and manifestation. So this is saying to be extremely careful about the way you think, Pisces, because your thinking and the things that you're saying will manifest what is coming to you. Also, when you want something to happen, you can will that into existence just by the way that you're thinking. You have everything that it takes to get what it is you want. We all do, as a matter of fact. But it's our thinking and our thought process and the words that we say to ourselves that block the things that we want from coming to us. But this is saying that there is magic at hand. So be really mindful of that inner voice or even the outer voice, because are you going to allow things to be attracted to you, or are you going to block them? So be very, very mindful of your thinking and your words. Now we have We have the Eight of Cups. And this is about walking away from something that you absolutely love. The emotional turmoil has gotten to the point where you just can't take it anymore and you're walking. And it's really, it's a breath of fresh air and it's a really good cleansing for the Pisces to walk away this year from something that or someone that is weighing you down and causing you too much emotional turbulence. All right, your focus. Wow. So you also have the 11th house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. And this is the assistance of collective groups and your friends. And so this just solidifies this magician card that came up because your dreams, hopes, and wishes have the ability this year to manifest, Pisces, but you have to be really careful about what your dreams, hopes, and wishes are and negative self-talk. Um, or, complaining about things or just not being grateful for what you already have, because that will block those dreams, hopes, and wishes from coming to you. And if you were wondering why the card came up again, because I have a double deck here. The only card that is missing from the double is the 12th house card. And that is because my Pomeranian ate that card many years ago. And I loved the deck so much, I bought another and I just combined them. All right, now we have Mars. And this is fire energy. And this is force. This is saying that things are not just going to happen by osmosis, although the magician and the 11th house do suggest that. This is saying you will have to take some action. Doesn't necessarily have to be this year, but you have to go through the planning phase at least this year and then take action next year. But you have to get up off your ass and start moving. That's what I'm saying for the Pisces. Like, you can't just sit back and complain about things not being the way that you want them when you're not taking the appropriate actions to make them happen. And you can't blame stuff on other people either, because the power of our lives lies within ourselves. So, no more excuses. All right. Once again, there's a burden, something that has to be let go of, something that is weighing you down. And that could be maybe subconsciously what's holding you back from achieving the things that you want, Pisces, or for moving forward. So you have to let that burden go. And your archetype card is card number 7, and it is the poet. And interestingly enough, the poet talks about saying beautiful things, thinking beautiful things, stopping the negative self-talk, stopping the excuses. This is saying you have the opportunity now to write a beautiful story. So are you going to do it, or are you just going to blame things on other people and make excuses for yourself? It's up to you. And this is the year for you to decide what direction you're going in. Okay, Aries. Aries. We had the 4 of Wands, which talked about finding your tribe, finding your vibe, getting out there and playing and being creative, finding something that sings to you, moving your body, listening to good music, going to events, getting out of the house, getting together with friends. So that's how we were starting April off for Aries. Your crystal card is, it's zincite, and it is about creation. So it's more, I can't get in there. It's more fire energy. So fire and fire, it's about creativity, passion, romance, play, finding your inner child, finding your tribe, finding the people that really gel with you, like stop wasting energy on people, places, and things that you're trying to force in your life. It's time for you to let that go and let things emerge naturally, right? All right, your animal totem, it's deer spirit. Now, this could be hard. This could be a little difficult for the Aries suns, risings, and moon, but it looks like a fire card, doesn't it? It's deer spirit, and it says, bring a gentle touch. So this is saying, Aries, you rush into things and you could be impatient and you have to be first and you have to that. This is saying, Aries, this is a year for you to pull back a little bit and be a little softer, a little more gentle, listen more. You do not have to jump out into the action to prove that you know better, you are better, you can do things better. This is really coming from to prove your power or how powerful you actually are. Sometimes nothing needs to be said. It's a very gentle energy. So think about the deer in the forest. They say the lion is the king of the jungle, but you know, yes, grizzly bears, they are huge, they are loud, but you know when they're coming, right? The deer can walk past you and you wouldn't even know it. They're so well camouflaged, yet they weigh 1,500 pounds. They will kill you if they were to run towards you and you wouldn't even see or hear them coming. It would happen so fast. That's what that deer energy is. Like, they are one of the most powerful beasts in the forest, and you don't even know that they're there. They don't have to roar like a lion. They don't have to roar like the bear. I mean, you know when a bear's coming because you'll hear them. Um, you get my point, I hope. I beat that horse until it's dead. There's too many dead deer symbols lately, so which breaks my heart. And those will be stories for another time, maybe. Okay, so your major arcana card is the sun, and the sun is coming out for you, Aries. That's more fire energy. The sun in astrology is actually exalted in Aries. It is in one of its most favorite signs. Although it rules the sign of Leo, it loves being in its sister sign of Aries. So this talks about your vital life force. This is enlightenment. This is awakening. This is what is coming for the Aries in 2025 if you allow it. Now, not everything can be peaches and cream because the Three of Swords is coming up. The Three of Swords talks about heartbreak. Often, and not always, this talks about being cheated on, like a love triangle, the Three of Swords, but this is usually involving two other people. And this coup has broken your heart, not on purpose, not willingly, but I would expect you to experience a broken heart, Aries, suns, risings, and moons by two separate people this year. That's the information that I'm getting. It could be, any one of your relationships. Since I'm reading for the collective, it's hard to pinpoint. Now, if I was reading for an individual, I would have more visuals, but I feel as though some of you could be in a love triangle situation. This could also be the passing of two people. This could be being betrayed by two separate people. So it could show up in a myriad of ways. It all depends on what would break your heart if somebody did something to you. All right, now we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is emotion, but it's also about romance. But at the bottom of it all, it is emotion, it is love, it is passion, in that greatest sense that you feel so comfortable with yourself that nothing shakes that. This could be for some of you somebody new entering your life, but this could also just mean that you're finding something to be passionate about, something that really touches you at your soul. Also, on the other hand, coming off of this, the Three of Swords, this could be going through an emotional period following the heartbreak and then having to come back to your center, having to block out the rest of the world and come back to your center so that you can be emotionally stable. All right, now we have Virgo energy. This is the energy of work, working the land, very much like that earth symbol that we just saw. But this is about service to others, helping others. This is maybe opening up your own business. This is also planning for the future. This is your health, body, mind, and spirit, very much on focus when the Virgo card shows up. This is saying be mindful of what you eat, whether it's the food that you eat, the mental stimulation that you are ingesting, or even the people that you're around because of their energy and what they're giving off. Then we have the 10th house, and it's the world. And this is also career related. This is how the world, people out in the world see you. So that could definitely be changing for the Aries in the coming future. I'm thinking 26 and on, but there could be major changes in your home and family life. This could be mother, father. This is also your career. What you're known for in the outside world could be changing. Then we have the cat. This is talking about independence. And the cat loves to be loved when it likes to be loved. And then it wants to be left alone when it's had enough. This is also independent contractor, somebody starting out on their own, the need for freedom, the need for your own autonomy. Let me just see. This says independence and healthy boundaries also. So, shutting some people out for the sake of your own mental and physical health. Okay, so we have card number 70, and it is the thread. Let me take a look at the symbolism of this real quick. All right. You have the thread. Get that up in there without the glare. What does the thread talk about? So the thread is reminding you that we are connected to everything, every living thing, every thought, every inanimate object, but every person in the world. We have some connection to every single thing. Think of the butterfly effect, that when a butterfly flaps its wings in Africa, that could create a tsunami or a windstorm here on the other side of the world. This thread is saying you are not as alone as you think you are. Think of 6 degrees of separation, which now, because of the internet, is down to either 2 or 3 degrees of separation. This is talking about using your connections, using that thread to get you ahead, to pull you out of a hole, making those connections that are so desperately needed for whatever new venture you are going to be setting off on. All right, let's see, we're on Taurus. Taurus, you had that Five of Cups. This was for the month of May, and this was talking about a little bit of sorrow, a little bit of loss, refusing to see what still remains. This was, I had picked up, this could be financial difficulties for some. And so this is just saying that this year could be a little bit of an emotional up and down for the Taurus suns, risings, and moons. Your crystal is seraphonite, and it is about healing. And I think that that's going to be perfect, especially if you have been experiencing an emotional roller coaster in your life. Seraphonite is so gorgeous. It's green and white, but it looks like angel wings are in it. So think of seraphim, angels. That's what that stone is. And I know for me personally, it was difficult to get. And one of my friends sent me a couple years ago a bracelet with seraphonite in it, and I wear it almost every single day. I don't have it right now because between the animals and the baby, I don't want it to get ruined. But seraphonite, it's an angelic stone, but it's green in color, so it is about heart healing. That may resonate with you, Tauruses. And I'm a Taurus rising, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see how maybe I need a little heart healing from this year of losses. So thought I was doing okay, but maybe I should wear that bracelet more often. All right, so you're getting rabbit spirit, and that does talk about prosperity. I think that's a rabbit, right? Yes, rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. So that's pretty fantastic. Rabbit spirit talks about fertility. So Tauruses, I think that you're going to be okay. As long as you're planning ahead, do your budget now before we enter the new year. Start to like get a preliminary, something together, and don't gamble. Just hedge your bets on stability and all will be fine. It's a lucky, fertile year for you. Your major arcana card is the wheel, and the wheel talks about cycles and endings, taking a chance, and think of the wheel of fortune, but the wheel is constantly spinning. So we're constantly going through these cycles. And the 9 year of 2025 is a year of completion. So you're wrapping things up, Taurus, and coming to a completion, discarding things that no longer serve you. And this is saying, you may have an opportunity you may just want to jump right back into, and that wouldn't be a bad thing. The Four of Cups is coming up, and that is about contemplation. And once again, it is about the emotions of the heart. Do you want to take a chance? So possibly an opportunity comes up in your love life, but you're just not fully ready. You have to think on it for a little bit longer. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, because 2025 is a year of wrapping things up, not starting new things. That's next year. Okay, so you have the moon, and this is about deception, not seeing things clearly, not being able to think clearly. There's a veil over your perception of things. You haven't been shown the truth of something. Um, but I'm thinking the truth will be revealed. Everything comes out in the moonlight. So it's just a matter of time. This is also a card of more emotion. So very much an emotionally turbulent year, possibly for the Taurus suns, risings, and moons. And then we have Saturn. Interesting. So the Saturn card comes up, and this is symbolizing the truth. The problem with Saturn is it's the harsh truth. It's like the truth that you really just didn't want to know. And it kind of just slaps you in the face. And it's like the discipline of your father or father figure and having to be disciplined, making a commitment, putting in that hard work. But it's like the cold, hard facts finally show up. Then you're getting the wealth card. So this may not be such a bad thing. Love or money, So love can make you happy. Some people say wealth can make you happy, but I want you to think about wealth in a different way, not in a material way. Maybe it's not financial. Maybe just being happy and being healthy and having, people around you that love you and you love back. That's true wealth. Having a job that you love to go to, having a house over your head, that's true wealth. Doesn't always have to be in coin form because then that just turns to greed. Um, so, but the wealth is maybe just figuring out what is truly important to you and what really matters and seeing that you're more blessed than you probably realize. So if you start feeling sorry for yourself with all of these emotional cards, I want you to sit back and think about the true blessings that you have in your life, and that could turn you around. Your archetype card is card number 49, and it is the fault line. And I don't like this, but this is saying something is about to crack wide open. Is it your heart? Is it your life? Um, you're living on the edge of that fault line. Now, the fault line in real life, those are invisible lines that run under the earth where the tectonic plates come together. And so when there's an earthquake, that's where they're happening and it's shaking that fault line. So things are going to get shaken up. I don't know. None of that sounds right. But yeah, something is about to crack wide open. It will be seismic. It will be huge. It could actually be an earthquake, especially in Taurus, because Uranus is still in Taurus until June, I believe, or July. Um, and those last final degrees, it could cause some huge earthquakes in the world, but there could be a huge earthquake in your own life, Taurus. All right, Gemini. Gemini, you had the King of Wands, and we talked about creativity and power and passion and romance, but using um, that energy, the strength and the pride of the lion. Your crystal is inner peace, and it is tourmaline. And so I love that because that's what that strength of that lion really talks about. It is about inner peace. So true strength, like I spoke about with the deer, isn't measured in being boisterous or bullying somebody. True strength is in centered groundedness and true peace with oneself. So tourmaline, and there are so many, there's black tourmaline, there's watermelon tourmaline, there's green tourmaline. There's so many different tourmalines, and they each have a different benefit. Get all of them, Gemini, and utilize them for all the different chakras in your body to come back into your center and find that peace. Your animal totem is, oh, I love this. It is Panther Spirit. In shamanism, it is Otorongo, Mother Jaguar. And this is about taking your power back. And that goes great with that King of Wands. It says, reclaim your power, knowing that you are the one that holds the key and the power to yourself. I love that. Your major arcana card. Oh, it's the Gemini card. It's the Lovers. So I am a Gemini sun sign, and I would really love all of this for me. Every single piece of it. So the Lovers, it's about coming together. It is romance and it's love, but it's also partnership, finding somebody that you really just gel with. Maybe it is soulmate. I don't know. Let's hope that this is also the rekindling of something, the repair of something. Once you take your own power back and know that you are sovereign within yourself, fully at peace with yourself, that is when all of your relationships can flourish. Okay, let's see. Now we have, oh, and I love this. It just keeps getting better and better. The Ten of Cups is showing up, and this is the happiest card as far as when it comes to love and emotions. I love it. It's like everything is falling into place. The Ten of Cups is one of the best cards in the deck, like all of the tens are. But this is about love and the emotions and finding somebody special, possibly. And that could be in business. It could even be in friendship, companionship. It doesn't have to be love and romantic. This could also be a soulmate coming into existence, meaning like, a new child coming in. I feel like I have that soul connection with my granddaughter, but, it's a different type of love. That's what I'm talking about. All right, planetarily wise, we've got the Pluto card, Gemini. This is about transformation and change, rising up through the ashes, dusting yourself off, rebirthing yourself. This is about things that have died off, and now you're coming back to life this year, Gemini. And then we also have the seventh house of partners. So here we are again. And that goes perfectly with that Lovers card. But that could be marriages, love partners, it could be business partners. This is known enemies, often is the seventh house. People that will just show up, But I feel like this is the coming together of people. I feel that this is just really good energy, partners. Then we have protection. This is safety and protection, whether it's angelic or physical protection. But Gemini, you have a bubble around you this year. Black tourmaline, by the way, is really good for that. But the protection card is also saying you may need a little caution. Don't go crazy. Don't go jumping off cliffs. Don't go skydiving because this could be a little bit of a year. So you want to use common sense, but there is some sort of veil of protection around the Gemini suns, risings, and moons. And then your archetype card it's card number 20, and it is the Pilgrim. So this is starting off on brand new foot. The pilgrim is somebody who is setting out into a new adventure, into unknown territory, brand new. No idea what's depicted in this card. It's very interesting. There could be some difficult moments, blockages, restrictions, but there's also a coming together and some help along the way. But this is starting off something brand new and entering a new territory or a territory that you haven't been in that has completely changed since the last time you were there. So, Gemini, that is it for you. Cancers, the little crab. So we talked about celebration and victory. Your crystal card it's about forgiveness and it's dioptase. And this is another green stone. This is a heart healing stone. It is a little bit on the expensive side, but super healer. And it is about forgiveness. Now, maybe you can go with a different green stone, although this is super powerful. Maybe malachite could work for you, but the forgiveness theme. I'm picking up forgiving yourself for whatever it is that you're blaming yourself for, whatever you're feeling down about, whatever you're putting yourself down about, also forgiving other people. Because unless you close those chapters and allow forgiveness, you're not going to be able to celebrate. You're not going to be able to move on. So this is going to be a big year of forgiveness. And, I feel like the majority of that is going to be forgiving of yourself or whatever. Your animal totem card, it's the bear and it's brown bear spirit. This talks about protection. It also talks about the comfort and loving nature, like a mother's love. Brown bears are very, very good mothers. And this says, take time out. So that's not the direction that I was going in because I was thinking of like a fierceness and a protection that would be walking alongside of you for that strength. But now I'm seeing it in a different light, that this is saying that maybe in 2025, Cancers, you really just need to check out from a lot of different things and, get your emotions in order, pull things in. Take this time for yourself. Um, no more people pleasing, lots of forgiveness on your part for yourself. And really, it's about taking care of yourself and nurturing. Think about how bears hibernate. They go into their cave. That is what 2025 could be for you. Your major arcana card, it's the moon. And that is about emotion. It is about deception, deceiving yourself, maybe being deceived, but it's the emotional depths of the ocean. And you can see this person sinking down into the emotional depths of the ocean. And so this would probably be a very good time, a good year for you to do a little hermiting so that you can deal with those emotional things. Now, is somebody lying to you? Is somebody deceiving you? I really kind of think it's you doing it to you. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, so now we have the Nine of Pentacles is coming up. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is really, it's a wonderful card, especially if you're in business. This could be a raise, a promotion. It's kind of like the wish card, but when it comes to money. So this could be new venture, new investors, new ways to invest. It could be possibly a new job. It's kind of like you're getting your financial wish. Um, what I'm hearing is changing house, changing things up around the house, changing things up. This could be gifts that you're receiving also too throughout the year. I could have swore I just saw somebody standing over off to the side. That freaked me out a little bit. Um, all right, moving on. And this is a year of love, of self love. This is passion. This is really just taking good care of yourself. The Venus card is showing up. And right now, Venus is acting very serious, maybe a little bit cold, but as the year goes on, things will be warming up. And I think she's gearing up to go into a retrograde. I'm not sure what sign it is in, but Cancer, it's going to have some effect on you. This is the part of you that desires beauty and success and indulgence and valuables. This is not saying necessarily that you should spend your whole entire retirement on those things, but just knowing that this Nine of Pentacles just came up before it, this is saying you could be sitting pretty financially very soon. I don't know. Is there a lawsuit? Is there a promotion? Is there a lottery win? Could be all of the above. Okay, and then we have the Black Moon Lilith is coming up. Now, Black Moon Lilith is a place in our lives where we're wounded, maybe a little vengeful, but this is talking about the mystery. This is something that you can't see that is hidden behind the scenes. Trying to think, what am I going to get? This is definitely feminine energy. This is saying you are vindicated. The mystery will unfold as the year goes on. You know, Lilith was in the stories, I don't know if they're true or not, was the first wife of Adam before Eve. And she wanted to be her own person, and he was not having of that. Um, Sometimes this is the shadow side of ourselves, but this is talking about the mystery. Whenever I see the mystery, I think of like, you don't always have to know everything in advance. Sometimes you just need to allow things to unfold as they are. And, oh, the horse is coming up, and this is talking about the need to run away, the need for freedom, the need for adventure. Think of like Sagittarius energy. This is like, I've got to go. I need my independence. I've got to go, whether it's a road trip, a trip overseas to get away. Maybe that's how that bear takes the time out, is just by changing the scenery, maybe going alone. Who knows? Sometimes that's exactly what we need to reset ourselves. Um, this is also talking about delegating things that become overwhelming in your life, getting some assistance, accepting help from others. Don't think that you can sulk in a corner or sulk in your bedroom all by yourself and think that it's going to heal you. Sometimes you do need to get some help from others. Your archetype card, I don't know what this is, so I think I'm going to have to look this up. It is card number. Is what is that Roman numeral? It is 70, I think it's 77. And the card is Alethea. You see that? And I'm not really even sure what that is. Um, and I apologize, but I haven't used this deck that often to know all of the cards. But what I would think is it's like a mirror image. The light and the shadow, that's what comes to me at first. And that's what makes me think of that Black Moon Lilith card that I just pulled. Um, because if you could read it either way, it's like a mirror image of itself, this card. It's the light and the shadow. So without even looking it up, I'm immediately thinking is that you have to embrace both the light within yourself and the shadow. You can't just be all light, but you can't also just be all shadow. You know, you need to have that balance. You need to work that out. And I think that that's what that card is going to say. What did I say? 77? I think. Um, 77. Sorry. Here we go. It says our soul recognizes the truth when someone speaks it. A cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of Aletheia. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational. We can also recognize aletheia by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves and are more likely to tell our own story. The aletheia card requires us to step towards an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what's been concealed. All right, so that's not what I was expecting that card to be. I was thinking, like light and shadow, but hopefully you get that. Cancers? Yes, that's what I'm on. Cancers. So sorry about that. Okay, Leo. Leo, earlier we talked about lightening your load, carrying that heavy burden, having to put it down. It is time. You have Obsidian and the protection card. And this is saying that to me, well, Black Obsidian can be difficult to work with because it will bring all of your shadow side out of you. So, like, if you really want to clear yourself, you will be protected, by the way, from the Black Obsidian, but it will make you see parts of yourself that you don't want to see. And I think a lot of what your burden is your own baggage that you're carrying. And this is the year for you to let it go, Leo. Your animal totem is wombat spirit. And it says, be at home. And the cute thing about the wombats is they can be a vicious little animal, but they make a really great home for their babies and their family. And the cute part about it is if there is an animal that needs a home that isn't even part of the wombat species, I'm sure that there are certain species that it would agree with, but like even species that it wouldn't normally be compatible with, the wombat will allow those other animals into its home as long as they don't touch their babies or their family. So they're very, very good nurturers. Ah, my glasses got caught in my hand. All right, your major arcana card, it is the Chariot. And whenever I think of the Chariot, so this is about movement, it's motion, it's confidence. But when I think about the Chariot, I think of you need to make a choice. Are you going to take the left path or are you going to take the right path? Either way, you've got to move. You can't be stagnant anymore, Leos. You need to get some fire under your ass and get moving and grooving. Actions speak louder than words. All right, and you have the Queen of Cups that is coming up. And the Queen of Cups says, you're finally getting your emotions in order, or you really need to get your emotions in order. So you can take it in two different ways. This is when you are so grounded and centered that emotionally, not a lot will rock your world. And that's where you need to be right now, especially because you're going to be moving away from a lot of different things this year, Leo. The seventh house comes in and it talks about partnerships and marriages, business partnerships, marital partnerships, very good business or work friendships, meeting the right people at the right time. This says this card of your life is about long-term significant partners, romantic, business, or family. And then we have Neptune, and that is about sacrifice. This is about having to give up something in order to gain something else. This is also something that could be taken away in order for something new to come in. Neptune does put a veil of, confusion, delusion, glamour over our eyes so that we don't see things clearly. So be careful about your choices because you don't want to be giving up things that are really, truly important to you and then finding out later that all that glitters was not gold. The Spider is coming up for you, and this is about creativity. It is about infinity. It is about abundance. And really, mostly, it is about manifestation and creativity. So be really mindful of the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you speak to others, your thoughts, your words, because that will make a huge difference in your life of prosperity versus poverty. Your archetype card is card number 36, and it is the Forest. It's really beautiful card. So let's see, when we talk about the Forest, there's so many things that I could say, but what the general overall answer is with the Forest is not seeing the trees for the forest, if that is the phrase, being so overwhelmed by all of the trees that you don't see through the forest. I know that I'm screwing up that cliche. You can't see the forest through the trees. That's what it is. So this is all about perspective and how narrow your perspective is or how wide your perspective is. So this is asking you to open up your mind, open up your perspective, also to be flexible with your perspective. All right, Leos. Now we have Virgo. We are coming up to the end. Virgo, we talked about this, the negative self-talk, the way you see yourself or the way you saw yourself in the past. Looking back, contemplating where you came from, or if you're still in this place of mental anguish. Like, are you doing this to yourself? Okay, so your crystal is moonstone and it does talk about cycles. So, like, I feel as though you're coming out of a rough cycle and things are finally turning around. You're seeing things more clearly. You're feeling more like yourself. You're entering a new phase in life. You have koala spirit, and koala spirit says spirit has a plan. So something from the spiritual realm has is about to enter, has or is about to enter your life. Um, This is taking you up a notch. This is, maybe you do need to practice some meditation or take a different spiritual path, find some grounding. But if you have been working on that over the last year, something brand new is coming your way. Just when you think things can't get crappy enough, it's saying Spirit has a plan for you. There's a reason why you're going through what you're going through so that I can bring you to this other thing. All right, your major arcana card, and I love this for you. It's my favorite. It's the Star, and that is about dreams, hopes, and wishes, things manifesting. This is about keeping hope, holding on to hope that everything is going to come together and work out in your favor. Then you have the Knight of Cups. Now, I'd watch out for the Knight of Cups. This is somebody, this could be romantic, but it could just be in regular life. This is about being swept off your feet romantically or in business with finances and money. Like, if you have been in a vulnerable place, Virgos, suns, risings, and moons, that when somebody sweet talks you, it sucks you in. So I'm cautioning you to not get sucked in because this person is a player. So if it's in love or it's in business, I don't want you to be conned by a con man. That's where I'm going with that. I forgot to mention that their cons will be on the rise this year. All right, so we have the Sun card. This is about your vital life force. Um, Virgos, I feel as though a lot of Virgos could be very down in the dumps. Um, Vital life force is fizzling out possibly because of negative self talk, the way that you're treating yourself. Yes, other people could be treating you crappy too, and then that just feeds into it. This is asking you need a boost of your vital life force. The sun is coming back into your life, but you too have to take action with that. You have to allow the sun to come back into your life. You have to open the blinds and allow the light to come in. You need to even just crack one of them so that some light can come in. Um, you get what I'm saying, Virgos? And this could also be for those of you that have been working nose to the grindstone. This is saying you need to get out into the sunlight. You need the fresh air. You need to revitalize your vital life force. Okay, so now we have fifth house and creativity, hobby, a passion, something that sparks something in you. This is a comedy and a tragedy all happening at the same time. I feel like there's like this double-edged sword that's going on in my head with these cards. And it could be the collective that I'm picking up on, like different people, different parts that are Virgos, suns, risings, and moons. Um, this could be getting involved in community theater. This could be going to the theater, something that is going to get to bring it out in you. This is about using your creativity. Art therapy is really fantastic, by the way. Um, and you don't even have to be an artist to do it. Just even doodling and scribbling. It's a thing. If you want to know more about that, you can reach out to me. Um, so, yeah, this is about creative juices, but this is also play, finding your inner child, and finding romance again, even if it's romancing yourself. Oh my gosh, the hits just keep coming, Virgo. All right, so the Goblin card is coming up, and this is about negative self-talk. This is about not treating ourselves well. This is about sitting in a poopy diaper and complaining about it instead of getting up and changing our own diaper. Just the symbolism. But the goblin, and there is goblin energy in the world, I believe, just as there are fairies and uh, trolls and all different magical spirits. But goblins feed off of negative energy. They feed off of negative self-talk. They feed off of nasty things that we say to people, uh, just even the thoughts in our head. They feed off of that. So we need to stop that and turn that around, and stop feeding your goblin. Let's see what else. It's the wounded human ego. So often, and we've seen this play out on TV all this year, wounded egos and the things that come out of that. There's just mass ugliness. Um, don't buy into all of that. Maybe get off of social media. Don't watch the news. That only feeds the goblins even more. Your archetype card is, huh, it is card number 14, and interesting. It's the Judge. And Virgos, you know that you're judgy. You know you're judging everybody. Things are black and white in your mind. But this is really mostly talking about the way that you judge yourself, um, which then, falls into how you judge others. Are you helping people or are you hindering people? This is also about balance, finding harmony, finding justice. The Judge. So, hope you liked that, Virgos. And moving on to Libra. I feel like this is so long, isn't it? Okay, Libra. There's that Five of Pentacles that we talked about. When you're feeling sorry for yourself and you can't see that there's help right behind you. When you're feeling sorry for yourself, then you can't help yourself. You can't find the assistance that's right in front of your face. Your crystal is interesting. It's pyrite. It is male power. This is masculinity, but this could also be men in general. I think we have a lot of toxic masculinity going on in the world right now. But think about pyrite. It's fool's gold. Not all that glitters is gold. And if you're feeling sorry for yourself because maybe finances or maybe romances are on the downturn, it's fake. It's like a facade is what I'm hearing. Nothing is real. Kind of like, feeling sorry for yourself and not seeing what's right in front of your face. Your animal totem is the dragonfly. This is about transcendence. This is about transformation. It says truth transcends illusion. And that's what I was just talking about, the facade, the illusion, the perception. Your major arcana card it's Temperance. And this is about moderation. Um, Moderation with everything. So that's really Libra right within itself, trying to find the balance of everything. And it's not so much the balance of like justice. Um, Temperance originally started out with, you know, everything in moderation. It started out with alcohol, like, people being temperate and only having a little bit of alcohol. Temperance houses were also like tea houses back in the day, but not overdoing any one thing. Everything in moderation and in balance is what's coming up with this card. Anything else? It's also talking about grounded and being, uh, finding your spiritual center, finding the pleasure within yourself. And then we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, it could be a mind, um, somebody that comes into your life, but this is somebody that could be giving you really great advice. This could be even you giving yourself the great advice. Um, the King of Swords has a lot of power because his words really matter, and he's super intelligent, um, older, somebody wiser, and doesn't play childish games. And this could be, are you becoming this energy, this person, or is this somebody that you will be meeting that will help to bring you into center and help to ground you? Then we have the Sun again, your vital life force coming back when you meet this person. Could be a business, partnership. Um, but this is you coming out from the ashes of 2024 and finally re-emerging, feeling alive once again. Then we have Venus, and it is about love. So this could be a romance, um, but this is also about loving yourself, Venus, this Venus card, because, I know a lot of you may already be in relationships or want nothing to do with a relationship. And so I feel like a lot of this is about loving yourself. And, you know, another person cannot make you feel whole, make you feel complete. And if you're not feeling that way, then you have no business pursuing a relationship because you need to be fulfilled and complete on your own. And then a partner would complement that or enhance and enjoy that. But you can't be, you know, I think you know what I'm saying. Maybe not, and maybe I'm just a little too tired because I've been recording now for a little over 2 hours. Well, we're coming to the end. Um, But what I'm saying is that if you're not happy with yourself, you can't be happy with another person. That's what this Venus card is. That's where the vital life force comes from. Like when you light yourself up, it exudes and radiates out towards the rest of the world. All right, so we have the Owl card. This is about wise wisdom, knowing better. Um, You don't want to say, oh gosh, you know what? I knew better. This is about using your intuition. This is listening to your ancestors. This is stopping before rushing into things and taking a moment to, contemplate, should I do this? You know, follow your gut instincts. The owl is a very powerful symbol. It's also, it talks about omens, looking for signs that you see. And your archetype card, it is card number 39, and it is the Temple. And the Temple speaks about not having to go to temple, but the temple being within your own body. And I already kind of spoke about that a little bit. It's like nothing that you need is outside of yourself. You already have everything within yourself. You are your own temple. So I'm just going to show that. Um, and really, once you start to realize that you are complete and whole just as you are, then your life could possibly flourish a little bit more than it already is. But you are your own temple. Your body is your temple. Your spirit is your temple. Your mind is your temple. Your heart is your own temple. Okay, Scorpio, down to just two more cards. Scorpio, you had the Ten of Cups. This is celebrating. Was it the Ten of Cups? I'm sorry, the Ten of Pentacles. This is everything coming together financially and socially, business partnerships, family. Everybody's happy. Everybody has everything that they need. Love that for you. And your card is aquamarine. Your crystal is aquamarine, and it is about release. And this year, the year of 9, is about release because we're coming to the end of a cycle. It's time for you to let something or someone go. Your animal totem is, what does the fox say? Ring ding 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 ding. It is fox spirit. This is about being calculating. This is about planning. This is about patience, waiting your time, waiting for perfect timing. This card says, think on your feet. So the think on your feet, though, is, you know, just being very resourceful this year, but it goes to say about calculating and planning and being patient and waiting your time. Your major arcana card is, uh, it is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant. And this is about tradition. Um, it's a very spiritual card. This is about spiritual practice. This is, it can be very religious based. This is talking about ascending to the next level, possibly somebody ascending to the next level. Now, think about this card. This looks like some sort of celebration, a tradition, people coming together. That could also be this Hierophant card. One big, celebrating a tradition. Maybe you haven't done it for a while. But I feel that there is some sort of ascension. There could be a religious celebration in the family, whether that could be a christening or a communion, depending on your religion, something of that. You could be switching religions or coming into religion or coming out of religion. There could be so many things happening for Scorpios this year. Okay, and now we have, this card always perplexes me. This is the Page of Cups. And this this Page of Cups, this is like, I want to fall in love. My head is in the clouds. I'm floating on air. And it's just like not in your right mind. Like, like, have you ever, like when you were young, well, depending on it, anybody could be watching this. Like, yeah, like love at first sight, you see somebody and you get the butterflies in your stomach and you can't stop thinking about them. That's what this energy is. This is like the beginning of a brand new love, but it could just be lust. It could just be a crush, so be cautious. All right, and then we have 10th house. This is career. This is what you're known for in the outer world. This is also mother and father energy. This is embarking on this new adventure that you could possibly be known for. But this could be part of what that tradition has to do with, is a mother and father, something, people having to come together for that. It's not 8th house or 12th house, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm not seeing like a funeral or anything, but there's some kind of milestone celebration possibly. Oh, great. And then of course the 8th house is coming up. So for Scorpios, there could be passings. This is endings and beginnings, and this could be a little bit of a trying year towards the end of the year, not at the beginning, but this could be the coming together. Like I said, it could be a milestone birthday, a milestone anniversary, but there could also be funerals involved and new births in the family. So you could becoming a parent or a grandparent. However, it all leads us to movement. Things just keep moving. Nothing stays stagnant. And I've often talked about that, like when I've experienced horrible loss and grief, and it's like, I just want to stop where I am in my tracks, and the world keeps moving around me, like keeps moving forward. And like a part of me was so angry, like that I have to keep moving on because this is how the world works, like you have to continue going to work. Like I want to stay in bed for a couple of weeks. Nope, you don't get any you don't get any of that. That's what movement is. So things are just going to keep you going, Scorpio. You won't have time to really stop and take everything in. So try to go through this year methodically and slowly so that you can take in some of these moments. And you have card number 1, and it is the mother. And I am thinking about somebody in specific because I thought about somebody losing their mother who is a Scorpio, and that being their karma coming this year. So, but in general, the mother talks about the beginning of creation. Now, some of you Scorpios, suns, risings, moons, you could be losing a mother figure. I don't know, but the mother, think about the Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, the beginning of creation. It is card number 1, which is the beginning. And I love, you look in the center of this card. I'm going to put these down so I could show you. All right. It's hands with a pearl in the middle. Looks like a mother or a child's hands, or a mother with a child's hand holding a pearl. And it's just the beginning of all creation, but there will be a highlight on the mother, possibly, or creation, or the earth, Gaia, and you having some sort of a connection with that. And then last but not least, we have Sagittarius, which wraps up December. And you had the 6 of Cups, which talked about loyalty, sentimentality, old friendships, children, thinking about when you were a child and the joy that you had and the friends that you had and the playing, and finding somebody who is truly loyal to you. This is an emotional card. So we have lepidolite, which is a purple stone, and this is about acceptance. And although it's purple, which would typically be crown chakra, this really kind of covers the heart because it is an emotional water stone. So this talks about heart healing and coming to a place of acceptance of it is what it is. Either take it or leave it. If you can't accept it, then you just leave it and walk away. Horse spirit is coming up. How apropos for the Sagittarius, the centaurs. And it says freedom is yours. It is for the taking. You can be free. Um, are you keeping yourself in your own prison though? So, it really is up to you. Like I said, if you can't accept your situation for what it is, then maybe you need to break free. Your major arcana card is the world. Oh, sorry, the glare, the world. And the world talks about completion. It goes very well with the 2025 theme. 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And that is completion. That is tying up loose ends. That is wrapping things up. It's discarding things that no longer serve. Things are coming to the end of a cycle. They are complete. And you need to wrap these things up, Sagittarians, suns, risings, and moons, in order to start brand new next year with the 1 year. All right, so we have the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords marks a defeat of some sort. Like you're finally crying uncle, you're ready to walk away. There is a lot of sorrow here, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, possibly. Sorry, horrible words, horrible thinking, horrible self-talk, self-thought, but also somebody else could have been mentally abusing you. Um, this is where you say, I've had enough. The Ten of Swords usually marks a marked defeat of some sort where you're ready to surrender. All right, now we have Capricorn, and this could be self-determination, the desire to succeed. This is about goal making. This is about not giving up. And then we have Pluto, transformation. And this is death, endings, new beginnings, transformation, rising up through the ashes, no longer the scorpion, but maybe the eagle or the phoenix. And that is card number 11. So this is a good thing. Fear is the only thing that is holding you back. I'm just going to leave it at that. But fear is real. And a lot of people say it's false evidence appearing real. Yeah, I get that. But you know what? Try saying that to somebody who is experiencing fear. It's very real for them. So, but if we allow fear to constantly hold us back, then we can never move forward. So, this is something that you're going to have to sit with and deal with and contemplate over this next year if you allow your fears to hold you back. And the fear really is mostly just thinking too far in advance before knowing what could really happen anyway. And your card, your archetype card, it is card number 67, and it is the stone. And the stone is saying you are stronger than you even realize. This is stone faced, stone hearted, stone cold, but This is saying you are solid. You've got this. This could be a little bit of a rough year um, for the Sagittarians, but nothing. It takes years to chip away at the stone. It takes millennia for water to finally like start to, make some divots into stones like through rivers. Um, this is saying that you are resilient, you're solid in your placement, but this is also saying you're stubborn. You don't want to give up. You want to persevere, and you will. You will come out the other side swimmingly. All right. This was a very long evening. Um, I'm not going to get the kitties or the other family members. My dog is going to bring them on camera. This has been too long, but thank you for staying with me. I hope you liked your card reading for 2025. Stay tuned as I will be putting together videos for all of the upcoming crazy planetary transits that we're going to be going through in 2025. I do have that full 25 forecast video already up. If you want to take a look at the whole thing, it is time stamped. But I'm going to be breaking it down and talking about how it will affect each zodiac sign as we move through the year. So stay tuned for those videos. Um, what else? I have some ideas of some new things that are coming in my mind. Whether I do them or not, I'm not going to say right now, but we'll see. Maybe something new is coming down the pike. Stay tuned. Thank you again for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notified. And I'll put down here all of my link contacts so that you can get me on the socials or my blog, my website. And my books are going to be opening again in January, so you can order up a reading. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.